SCP-1262, Object Class, Keter. SCP-1262 is a mass, roughly 30 centimeters in diameter, that is made up of a green plant matter capable of highly accelerated growth when left in the presence of light, moisture, or organic tissues. Its surface area is composed of a dense covering of thin roots. These roots can spread outwards by growth and movement at a rate of 0.22 meters per second. SCP-1262's roots can reach up to 1 kilometer in length in order to seek water and mineral nourishment from the surrounding environment or from other living organisms. SCP-1262 has a rapid regenerative ability, which makes it difficult to eradicate. SCP-1262 also has an innate resistance to most types of radiation, extreme temperatures, and extreme pressures. However, extreme temperature greater than 1470 Kelvin or less than 213 Kelvin or large amounts of aggressive herbicides seem to be the most effective suppression methods. Currently, there is no known method to fully exterminate SCP-1262. If left unchecked, SCP-1262 will grow to form complex structures. These structures are supported by hardened cellulose fiber and lignin wax, plating formed in hexagonal patterns. These structures also include defensive, offensive biological mechanisms that range anywhere from pneumatically discharged calcium carbonate fletches to hallucinogenic fume-releasing pods. Inside these structures, SCP-1262 is able to produce many independently functioning organic systems for capturing and converting the ambient environment on an enormous scale. Please review Incident 1262, 2010, 4.2 Summary for further information on SCP-1262 activity and threat level. Timeline Summary of Incident 1262, 2010, 4.2, April 12th, 2010. Dr. A prominent volcanologist and his assistant were collecting samples on the Eyjafjallajökull ice cap in Iceland when they inadvertently unearthed SCP-1262 from the dense ice. Dr. asked his assistant to retrieve it. As the assistant came into physical contact with SCP-1262, he was quickly engulfed and absorbed by aggressive overgrowth, resulting in death within seconds. Dr. escaped back to his vehicle and reported to the local authorities. Local law enforcement arrived hours later to find a thick tree-like structure growing. 3 of the officers were entangled and absorbed by roots underneath them, and another was killed by a toxic aerosol. The only surviving individual did not report the incident, but fled the country instead, where he was later detained overseas. SCP-1262 grew substantially and virtually unnoticed for the next 12 hours. April 13th, 2010. By 4:00 a.m., SCP-1262 had grown into a hardened cellulose-based structure covering almost 20,000 meters squared, with 3 prominent towers, each roughly 100 meters tall. At the base, a collection of gaseous bladders, each inflating and deflating independently, were scattered around the center mass, along with thick roots that penetrated deep into the ice. The structure was processing ambient air and other nutrients into heated carbon monoxide, which was being exhaled out of the structure's towers as thick as clouds. 2 nearby towns evacuated after 50 people died from inhalation. By 12:30 p.m., 2 more towers had sprouted, and the entire structure had increased in size by 160%. The SCP Foundation was then notified, and a perimeter media blackout was established to protect civilians. Mobile Task Force Sigma-9, aka Valkyries, was called in with Level 5 clearance to lay down suppressing fire around SCP-1262, using air-to-ground bunker busters with warheads. April 14th, 2010. First volley of the airstrike began at 1:00 a.m. and was successful in penetrating the ice cap over the dormant volcano. SCP-1262 became trapped in the collapsing caldera for a short while. During that time, 3 aircraft were destroyed by SCP-1262. A second volley was aimed directly at the center mass of the structure. The subsequent explosions were able to destabilize the volcano underneath to the point of triggering a violent eruption as planned. A final airstrike of bombing raids was made in the surrounding areas of the Eyjafjallajökull ice cap, effectively demolishing the towns of and along with of witnesses campsite. The entire site was closely monitored to ensure that it had been successfully incinerated in the eruption. All public knowledge of the incident was expunged, and the airspace of 20 nearby countries were subsequently closed off until further notice, until atmospheric ash samples confirmed a complete neutralization. 2000. Flight crashed into an isolated area of Greenland while traveling from Reykjavik, Iceland. Intercepted transmissions before the crash gave a strong indication that SCP-1262 was involved. Upon further investigation of the wreckage, the tail section, which had broken off in midair, was found covered in SCP-1262's overgrowth. Still in early stages of development, SCP-1262 was quickly suppressed and had the surrounding areas of growth stripped off. SCP-1262 was then taken directly to Area 33 for indefinite storage. Footnotes 1. All information on SCP-1262 is based on observations in the field during the Iceland incident. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1262 is to be kept in an indefinite dormant state at Storage Area 33 inside a cube of dry ice measuring 3 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters at 205 Kelvin, negative 68 degrees Celsius. The cube is to be suspended inside Silo 4. 2 industrial-strength dehumidifiers will run continuously to sustain a dry environment within Silo 4. Neutron emitters will bathe the inside with radiation at all times to deter unwanted organics. Silo 4 is also to be filled with argon gas at standard atmospheric pressure. In the event of a catastrophic failure of the primary containment system or a breach in the cube itself, 6 pneumatic drills will extend from the walls and penetrate each face of the cube to deliver a powerful synthetic auxin, 245T, directly into SCP-1262. If this secondary system fails, 50% of Silo 4 will be filled with boiling parquat, and SCP-1262 will be released into the liquid. If this tertiary system fails, a series of controlled incendiary explosions using a combination of thermite, napalm, white phosphorus, and TNT will be used to suppress SCP-1262. In any case, Mobile Task Force Theta 4, aka Gardeners, will respond and remain on-site to provide additional security during the reconstruction of the containment systems. At no time should water vapor, organic tissue, or visible light with a frequency between 400 to 790 THz be introduced into Silo 4. Outside of containment, SCP-1262 is extremely lethal in direct contact to organisms and should only be approached after being fully suppressed back into a dormant state.